The night of my wife's sister's birthday had begun like any other family gathering, laughter, music, and chatter filling the air. I brought a thoughtful gift, smiled politely, and tried my best to fit in with people who never fully welcomed me. My wife stayed close, glowing in her dress, while her family floated around her like she was a queen. I thought the evening would be harmless. I had no idea it would turn into the most humiliating moment of my life. When the cake was brought out and everyone gathered, my mother-in-law lifted her glass to make a toast. She praised her birthday daughter, her other children, her husband, and even the nieces and nephews. Everyone smiled, soaking in her words of pride. But then her eyes landed on me, and her tone shifted. "I'm proud of everyone in this family," she said, pausing long enough to make sure all eyes were on her. "Except you, John." The words sliced through the air. The room fell into silence, the laughter dying instantly. My face burned hot as I stood frozen, every pair of eyes darting between her and me. At first, I thought she was joking, but her expression told me otherwise. Cold. Calculated. She wanted to shame me. And she had succeeded. My wife's hand tightened on my arm, her voice trembling with anger as she snapped, "Mom, that was uncalled for." But her mother only shrugged, sipping her drink as though she had merely spoken the truth. The rest of the night was ruined. Conversations became forced, smiles fake, and I sat in the corner, feeling like a fool. My wife stayed by my side, whispering apologies. But I could feel the eyes, the whispers, the pity. I swallowed my pride and endured, but inside me, something broke that night. Something also awakened. On the ride home, my wife tried to comfort me. "Don't take her words to heart," she said softly. But I wasn't just hurt, I was furious. My humiliation had been served in front of everyone, and I knew I couldn't let it go. Forgiveness was no longer an option. Revenge was the only answer. Over the next few weeks, I began watching closely, listening carefully. My mother-in-law thought she was untouchable, but every person has secrets. And soon enough, I found hers. She was deeply in debt, credit cards, small loans, even money borrowed from relatives. She kept it hidden, maintaining her image of respect and control. I quietly gathered proof, every bill, every letter, every piece of evidence I could find. The opportunity came during another family dinner a month later. Everyone was there again, eating, laughing, pretending the birthday incident had never happened. My mother-in-law sat proudly at the head of the table, controlling the room like a queen. I waited until dessert was served before standing up. My wife looked at me nervously, sensing I was about to say something. I lifted my glass, mimicking her exact tone from that night. "I want to make a toast," I said loudly, drawing everyone's attention. "I'm proud of everyone in this family, except the person who pretends to be perfect while drowning in lies." Gasps filled the room as I pulled out the folder of documents and dropped it on the table in front of her. Bank statements, loan papers, debt notices. Her face drained of color as relatives leaned forward, whispering in shock. "You humiliated me in front of everyone," I said coldly, my voice steady, "but at least I've never built my pride on lies. Now everyone knows the truth about you." The silence was deafening. My mother-in-law stammered, reaching for excuses, but no one defended her. The queen had fallen, and I had been the one to topple her. My wife squeezed my hand under the table, her eyes wide with a mix of shock and pride. For once, the whispers weren't about me. They were about her mother, exposed, disgraced, her power crumbling in front of her own family. That night, I walked out of that house with my head high. The same people who once pitted me now looked at me with respect, even fear. My mother-in-law never spoke down to me again, she couldn't. I had shown her that humiliation cuts both ways. Revenge had been served. And it tasted far sweeter than the birthday cake I never enjoyed. From then on, I wasn't just John, the unwanted son-in-law. I was the man who dared to strike back, and made sure no one ever forgot it.